So nobody told your boy that year 3 of this freeform lock thing was gonna be as crazy as it was. I'm talking dandruff, itchy ass scalp, stretching out your damn t-shirts every single time you try to put one on. That's why you gotta keep a lock sock on deck. I got like 8 of these hidden in different corners of my room, just in case I need it to rally up the troops. Out there, you probably already hitting year 3 in your journey, year 4, year 5 and beyond, and you see the inherent difficulty that comes with subscribing to this freeform lock life. Got a shirt on now. I ain't gotta see my nipples. You are in year 1 or 2, strap in. Good luck. God be with you. Gots to stay strong. And if you're here just wondering why I pulled a Houdini act and disappeared on y'all, there is a lot of reasons why. I'm in year 4 of the journey, and year 3 did a number on your boy, and gotta give y'all a fair warning before it hits y'all too.
I don't know what happened. This shit is, I don't know what happened these last couple days, man, but this shit had me scared as, you see this? Oh my God.
What the hell?
Oh. Look at the top of my laptop right here, bro. I've been walking around like this.
Maybe you're still going through it. Maybe you made it out. You're on the other side of the dreaded year 3. Year 3 is like when you like hitting your late 20s and your early 30s and you starting to be like, bruh, am I unk? I'm still a YN. But for the crown. At first, that transition is super subtle. You know, your hair gets heavier, it gets longer. What the hell? A little itchier. Out of nowhere, you might catch a glimpse of yourself in a mirror, a little car window, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Not only do it look crazy, shit's starting to feel wild. When I started freeforming, I started so I can simplify my life, stop worrying about the frivolous shit, and keep a little coin in my pocket. You know what I mean? Keep a little dollar so I can throw that shit to some Bitcoin, throw that shit to some prize picks and get my winnings up. But somewhere along the way, that exact freedom that I gained from growing freeform locks became an obsession, became me just constantly checking stats, checking how my hair growth is going, overthinking just about every single aspect of growing freeform locks when I actually started growing freeform locks so I wouldn't be thinking about this frivolous type of shit. So easy to start something for one reason and then you just get completely lost trying to keep up. So I shifted my energy, focused on my health, focused on not dying of high cholesterol, and I dropped 70 pounds. I dropped the whole cup size. I got gains in other ways now. This is gonna change. In here gonna change as well. Make sure they match and they align. I was putting so much energy on dropping my teta size, dropping a whole cup size. Them shits was hanging, but these was hanging too. These was hanging too. Wrote music.
Became these girls' organ donors. Think of bread just about every morning, cause I always be sleeping around these toes. This nigga pop, pop, pop.
At the same time, I started to neglect the crown as well as you all out there. I mean, right now, we doing all right. You know what I mean? We're in year 4. Y'all saw what I was looking like in year 3. If you go back one video before this, I'll link it down below. You saw where I was in year 3. I was in shambles. You know what I mean? I neglected the hair. I lost balance. I gained balance and all those things I wanted out of my life, but then I lost balance with the crown. You know what I mean? This up here and this here were no longer aligned. And even at the start of this journey, they weren't aligned either. So now it was about time to get them on equal ground. That whole time I was MIA during year 3, the buildup was crazy. I'm talking sweat, flakes, itchiness, the whole side of my head growing on one side. When I first started this journey, as I'm sure some of y'all are, you know, you're doing the once a week washes. But bear in mind, as your hair gets longer, as you get further away from the scalp, you're gonna have to increase those washes, man. Just a couple of tips to help you during that transition from, you know, year 1, year 2 into those later years of your freeform lock journey. Number 1, prioritize moisture and lock it in. Every glass bottle I use, I save, because a glass bottle will do you justice, man. This is a great way to lock in moisture. You know, you fill it in with your essentials and you just doused it on your hair. A great way to do this is with aloe vera juice. You pour that into a bottle like I showed you, a carrier oil, some essential oils, and after you do your wash, you can just rinse your hair with this. It's an all natural conditioner and you keep that aloe and the carrier oils locked in on your scalp. Keep it there for a day or two before your next rinse. Once your crown is fully dried and you getting ready for bed, that's where tip 2 comes in. Invest in a bonnet or a silk scarf. As your hair gets longer, you know, I was relying on the silk scarves, but once it got to this length on the shoulders, the silk scarves were no longer cutting it. It was not fitting around my crown whatsoever. So getting like a nice extra large bonnet will do you some good. That's a great way to lock in the moisture, because when you're sleeping on cotton pillowcases or any type of fabric, they're generally leaching the natural oils from out of your head. If you have something that's satin or silk on top of your crown, you're locking in that moisture. It's not pulling. Tip 3, do not wait too long to separate. Unless you want to go through this route of just neglect and having your locks do whatever it do and you don't even touch it, make sure you check in. All of year 3, I was focused on getting 275 on the bench, hitting 215 on deadlifts, you know what I mean? But I wasn't putting focus into my crown until the last minute. You got a lock that's 10 times bigger. You can't cut down the center of your lock. So it's best to catch those things early, nip it in the bud. I could already feel these two sticking together. Instead of waiting to the last minute, go in and you adjust. You don't have to do it every single week, every single day, especially in the early phase. Just let things be if you're in your first year. But as you again transition to those later years, that's when you're gonna have to come back. Also helps with the drying process, man. I would go to sleep and wake up the next day and my hair was still wet. You don't want to have that problem. Drying becomes an issue down the line. Best believe that's like a breeding ground for some mold, some buildup, just a lot of bad shit you don't want in your lock to start being, you know, produced in your lock. It's a breeding ground. All the molds in there, just you keeping it nice and warm and wet for them. And tip 4, old t-shirts are your best friend. After I dropped my tetas, throw that picture up there one more time. After I dropped the tetas, I went from an extra large to a medium. I had to do something with the cotton tees. Cotton is moisture wicking, so it's naturally just pulling all that wetness out from your hair. I miss the community more than y'all can even imagine, but on the real, I had nothing to even talk about or show when it came to that 3rd year of the process, because I was actually still going through it. Still trying to figure out that transitional phase from having the baby teenage freeformies to now having these adult locks. As you're on this journey, you know, your first couple of months, your first year, realize that what you're doing right now in your journey ain't gonna work in year 3 or year 4, 5, and 6 down the line. You need to be able to adapt. You need to be able to check in once in a while, listen to what your hair needs, see what your hair needs, and be able to adapt. I was putting overemphasis on my freeform locks, as I'm sure you're doing today, making sure that every single area is locked up. This area is not locking up quick enough. I was putting overemphasis on that when that was the opposite reason of why I started this journey. And then because of that, my health was going, my finances was going, my mental clarity was going, and I had to readjust. But when I readjusted, overcompensating on those aspects of my life, which, you know, in turn helped me out, but at the same time ended up neglecting the hair. It's about finding balance. As your crown changes, you need to learn how to change along with it. As you change, you need to learn how to accept your outwardly appearance as well. Now today, I got less titties. I got more balance, less guilt, more clarity, more confidence, more DOMI. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of more,
Keep cream on my mind. She want cream on me, she want cream on my tight show bob. No, I double as a mop. All the strip that I got.
link down below my new freestyle on top of a roof while I share my vulnerability with my hair blowing in the wind. Super cinematic, super dramatic. Make sure you check it out. If you fuck with it, share it with a friend. I will be posting more music, and I truly appreciate you all checking it out. The transitional phase for you may not even be year 3. It might be year 2. It might be the first couple of weeks. If you ever feel like you fell off, this is the moment that you need to realize you don't have to check out. You just got to check in. I had to take a little break, take a little step back and check in with myself, and I'm glad that I did. And sometimes that little pause, that little moment that you took away is all a part of the process. You can always come back. The rest of this year, man, I'm wishing y'all new confidence. You know what I mean? I hope wherever phases y'all are in right now, whatever transitional moments you may be going through with your crown or with life, that you get through it and you're able to adapt. And with that, it's your boy, DOMI boy, and I'll see you at the next one. I gotta chop off this little bit right here, man. I was trying to grow a goatee. I was trying to do the goatee for y'all. You know what I mean? Try to come back on my real adult shit. My real, you know what I mean? Rasta King shit. But the problem with my goatee is that it don't connect, bro. My shit never connect. If y'all got a beard that don't connect, let me know what y'all did to get the mustache to connect. My shit grow like a football helmet. It's just a round